Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the electrifying world of one of volleyball's most explosive talents, Melissa Vargas. Picture this, a 6'4" powerhouse leaping into the air, her arm whipping like a thunderbolt, sending a volleyball screaming across the court at speeds that could rival a fastball from a major league pitcher. That's Melissa in action, fierce, fearless, and absolutely fun to watch. Nicknamed Vargas Airlines for those sky-high spikes that look like they're booking a one-way flight to the opponent's face, Melissa Teresa Vargas Abreu has taken the sport by storm. Born in Cuba, now a Turkish sensation, her journey is a roller coaster of triumphs, setbacks, and sheer determination. Buckle up, because this 3,000-word biography is going to be as high energy as one of her blocks. Let's spike right into it. Let's rewind to the sun-soaked streets of Cienfuegos, Cuba, on October 16, 1999. That's when Melissa Vargas entered the world, the daughter of a handball-playing dad who knew a thing or two about athletic grit. Growing up in a place where baseball and boxing often steal the spotlight, young Melissa found her passion in something a little different, volleyball. But not the polished gym version. No, we're talking street volleyball, the raw, makeshift kind where kids use whatever net they can rig up and play until the sun dips below the horizon. At just 6 years old, Melissa was already out there, barefoot and full of fire, smacking a ball around with neighborhood friends. It was pure joy, she might say if you asked her today, though back then, it was probably more like chaotic fun mixed with a healthy dose of competitiveness. Her dad, spotting that natural talent, encouraged her to channel it. By age 8, she joined her school's volleyball team, and boom, the spark ignited into a flame. Imagine a little girl towering over her classmates, already hinting at the 1.94 meter, that's 6 feet 4 inches for us non-metric folks, frame that would make her a giant on the court. Her spike? Even as a kid, it was clocking in at heights that turned heads. But life in Cuba wasn't all easy serves. Volleyball, there is a national obsession, with the women's team historically dominating the world stage. Melissa's family knew the drill: train hard, dream big, and represent La Isla del Encanto. At 12, she started training with the local Cienfuegos club, a powerhouse in Cuban volleyball. Those early days were grueling. Endless drills, weight training, and the kind of discipline that builds champions. Yet, Melissa brought her own flair to it. She wasn't just strong, she was smart, reading the court like a chess master and celebrating every point with the infectious energy that lit up the gym. By 13, in 2012, Melissa made her debut with the Cuban national youth team. Talk about precocious. At that age, most kids are worrying about homework. Melissa was worrying about how to out-jump opponents twice her experience. Her coaches saw it immediately. This girl had it, that rare combo of power, precision, and personality. And just like that, the world was about to get a taste of what Cuba had brewing. Fast forward to 2013, and 14-year-old Melissa is already turning heads at the U20 Pan American Cup. She walks away with the Best Spiker award, hammering balls so hard they might as well have been cannon shots. It felt like flying, she'd later recall in interviews. And with her future nickname in mind, who could argue? Cuba's volleyball system is legendary for producing talents like this. Think of it as a factory for future stars, churning out players who can leap, spike, and serve with the best. In 2014, at just 15, Melissa got her big break, selection for the senior Cuban national team. She jetted off to the FIV Volleyball Women's World Championship in Italy, rubbing shoulders with the global elite. Picture the scene, a teenager from Cienfuegos, wide-eyed but unbreakable, stepping onto the international stage. She didn't just play, she dazzled. That year, at the U23 Pan American Cup, she snagged Best Opposite Hitter honors, and at the Central American and Caribbean Games, she was the best outside hitter. Oh, and let's not forget the Pan American Cup and Games in 2015, where she racked up Best Outside Hitter again. Melissa was on fire, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. Volleyball at this level demands everything: body, mind, and soul. In 2015, she lit up the Final Four Cup as Best Scorer and the Norseca Pan American Cup Final Six with the same title. Her serves? Lethal. They earned her best server nods left and right. Fans started calling her a prodigy, and for good reason. By 16, She played in the FIV Women's World Cup and 3 editions of the FIV World Grand Prix. Cuba's team was stacked, but Melissa was the rising star, the one opponents feared because she played with a joy that was downright contagious. Imagine being in the stands. The crowd roars as Melissa winds up for a spike. The ball rockets over the net at 100 kilometers per hour, leaving defenders scrambling like ants in a rainstorm. That's the magic she brought to Cuba. But behind the glory, there were whispers of bigger things. Melissa dreamed of professional leagues abroad, where the pay was better and the facilities world-class. Little did she know, her path would take some wild detours. Enter 2016. Melissa, now 17, signs her first pro contract with Agil Prostojov in the Czech Republic. Excitement buzzed, Europe, better training, international exposure. She hit the ground running, but fate had a curveball. A nasty shoulder injury sidelined her. Back in Cuba for treatment, Melissa faced a harsh reality. The medical facilities? Not up to par. Frustrated, she voiced her concerns publicly. Big mistake in the Cuban system, where discipline is king. The fallout? A 4-year ban from the national team for indiscipline. From 2017 to 2021, Melissa was persona non grata in Cuban volleyball circles. It could have crushed her spirit, but nope, this was Melissa Vargas. She dusted herself off and signed with Volleyball Zurich in Switzerland for the 2017 to 2018 season. Playing as an opposite spiker, she adapted like a pro, earning best scorer in the Champions League that year. Her spike reach? A whopping 326 centimeters. That's over 10 feet. Defenders must have felt like they were blocking a missile. The ban stung, but it freed her up. No more national team obligations meant full focus on club ball. And boy, did she shine. In Zurich, she honed her skills, turning that raw Cuban power into polished precision. Fans loved her, not just for the stats, but for the smiles and the never-give-up attitude. By 2018, whispers from Turkey caught her ear. Fenerbahçe Opet, one of Europe's top clubs, came calling. On June 29th, she signed on, and just like that, Melissa's life took another epic turn. Turkey wasn't just a club move, it was a cultural shift. Istanbul's vibrant energy matched her own. Fenerbahçe became her home, and she quickly became their secret weapon. From 2018 to 2021, she dominated the Turkish league, earning Best Server awards in 2018 and 2019. But Melissa's ambitions were global. She started splitting seasons, first half in China's Tianjin Bohai Bank League, second half back with Funner. China tested her, intense competition, different styles, but she thrived, winning Best Server there in 2021 and 2022. Through it all, that ban loomed. But in 2021, everything changed. On April 10th, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan personally handed her Turkish citizenship papers. Melissa Vargas Ebru was now officially Turkish. It was a dream come true, stability, a new family in volleyball, and the chance to represent a nation that embraced her. She had to wait 2 years to play internationally, but the anticipation built like a perfect set. 2023 arrived like a championship point, and Melissa was ready to serve it up. Her debut with the Turkey women's national team, the FIV Volleyball Women's Nations League. Talk about pressure. But Melissa? She owned it. Turkey stormed to gold, and Melissa was crowned MVP and Best Opposite Hitter. Her stats? Insane. Top scorer, killer serves, blocks that shut down entire offenses. Fans chanted Vargas Airlines as she soared for spike after spike. The momentum didn't stop. Later that year, at the Women's European Volleyball Championship across Belgium, Italy, Estonia, and Germany, Turkey clinched gold again. Melissa? Double MVP and Best Opposite duties. She was everywhere, attacking, defending, celebrating with teammates like Ida Erdem and Zaraguns and hugs that screamed sisterhood. It's like a family, she'd say, and watching her play, you believe it. Her energy is infectious. Even opponents crack a smile after getting aced. Then came the FIV World Cup in Tokyo, another gold for Turkey. Melissa's journey from Cuban streets to world champion felt like a Hollywood script. But she wasn't done. Club-wise, she kept juggling Tianjin and Fenerbahçe, racking up league titles and MVPs. In 2024, she renewed with Fenerbahçe for 3 more years, solidifying her Istanbul roots. China trips continued, where her power play style fit like a glove. Fast forward to 2025, and Melissa's legend grows. At the FIV World Championship, Turkey battled to silver, a heartbreaker, but Melissa shone as best opposite hitter once more. Imagine the finals, tied sets, crowds roaring, Melissa leaping for that game winner. Even in defeat, her 30-plus point games were poetry in motion. As of September 2025, she's back with Fenerbahce, prepping for the new season, and Turkey eyes Olympic gold in 2028. At 25, she's just hitting her prime. Let's zoom in on her club life, because that's where Melissa really flexes. Fenerbahce Opet isn't just a team, it's a dynasty. From her 2018 arrival, she helped them to multiple Turkish league titles, Turkish Cups, and deep runs in the Champions League. Her synergy with teammates? Electric. Picture her opposite-hand Baladin setting her up for those monster spikes. Pure fireworks. Tianjin Bohai Bank added an Asian twist. China's league is brutal. Long seasons, high stakes, but Melissa adapted, becoming a fan favorite. In 2021, she led them to playoffs. By 2022, she was best server again. Splitting time between Istanbul and Tianjin, it's a jet-setter's dream or nightmare, depending on the flights. But Melissa thrives on challenge. Every court is a new adventure. She once quipped, and with her travel schedule, she's basically a volleyball nomad. Awards pile up like aces. 31 individual honors by mid-2020s, from best scorer to MVP. With Fenerbahce, she's won the Sultanlar Ligi multiple times. In Europe, her Champions League runs are legendary. Think 2018 to 2019 best scorer stints. And don't get me started on her block stats. 315 centimeters reach means she's a wall at the net. Opponents strategize around her, but good luck. Melissa's got eyes like a hawk and arms like pistons. Fun fact, her nickname Vargas Airlines started in Turkey, where fans joked her spikes fly too high and too fast. Now it's global. She's got social media buzzing, Instagram posts of training montages, beach volleyball fun, and that signature smile. Off court, she's all about balance. Yoga for flexibility, Cuban music for motivation, Turkish kebabs for recovery. Okay, maybe that's a guess, but who wouldn't? So who's Melissa off the court? Private, but peaks reveal a down-to-earth star. Family is everything. Shout out to her handball dad, who's probably her biggest cheerleader. Siblings? She keeps it low-key, but Cuban roots run deep. She honors them with traditional dances and downtime videos. Romantic life? Ah, the mystery. Rumors swirl, boyfriend sightings, teammate bonds like with Zara guns that spark, shipper, frenzy online. But Melissa's classy. She lets her game do the talking. Love is like a good pass, supportive and steady, she might say with a wink. No confirmed details, but whoever's in her corner is lucky. She's all about positivity, posting motivational quotes and pet pics. Does she have a dog? Fans think so. Fun side, Melissa's got humor. In interviews, she laughs about her height. Great for reaching the top shelf, terrible for hiding in crowds. She's bilingual, Spanish, Turkish, English bits, loves salsa dancing to unwind, and dreams of coaching kids one day. Philanthropy? She's supported Cuban youth programs quietly, proving her heart's as big as her spikes. Challenges? The ban was tough, but it built resilience. Cultural shifts, from Cuba's collectivism to Turkey's warmth, taught adaptability. Now, at 25, she's a role model, proving you can switch nationalities, leagues, and still soar. As we wrap this epic tale, let's reflect. From street games and Cienfuegos to MVPs in Tokyo, Melissa Vargas embodies volleyball's spirit, passion, power, perseverance. She's not just a player, she's an inspiration. For young girls dreaming big, she's proof. Start on the streets, aim for the stars. In 2025, with Fenerbahce locked in and Turkey hungry for more gold, Melissa's story is far from over. Will she snag Olympic glory? Break more records? You bet. So, hit that like button if you're Team Vargas Airlines, subscribe for more bios, and drop in the comments. What's your favorite Melissa moment? Until next time, keep spiking high,